Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Today, we continue the Ahsokast, our podcast where we take our journey through Ahsoka Tano as a character, all those impactful moments that have made her who she is in anticipation of August's Ahsoka series. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Hello, and it's always a pleasure to have you. Today we have The Clone Wars, Season 3, Episodes 15 through 17, better known as the MORTIS Arc.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a little difficult to stay focused on Ahsoka and focus on the lens. It was very interesting to watch it through the lens of Ahsoka.
It made it hit a little different, you know? Obviously, every time you watch this arc, it is about Anakin, and that's it's no secret that this one's about Anakin. But getting to view it through the idea of Ahsoka's future was kind of wild. A lot of really...
Yeah, I don't know. I guess her talk, I don't know. Just her talking to her future, so I don't know, getting right into it, I guess. But I didn't really give that much credence before. I guess I was just mainly focused on Anakin and what else was going on. You know, I wasn't really focused on Obi-Wan or Ahsoka at all. I was just like, just what is going on right now? Where are we? Who are these beings,
these deities? Yeah, I think I've had a misconception about this arc that I didn't realize. I thought they all forgot that this happened, but no, Anakin just forgets the future.
Yeah.
So the events of this weigh on Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Anakin forever.
Like, he actually has guilt for leaving, but, well, I guess he would have if he left. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So they did wake up and they're like, no, we were definitely gone for longer than a moment.
Yeah, like they remembered that they were gone.
Yeah.
And they know where they were. So I had it in my head for some reason that the father wiped their minds of this entire experience. It was just an experiment for him to see if Anakin was the one.
I see. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah. I get it. This was... was this really just a dream? Or was this Ahsoka actually talking to Ahsoka here? Because Qui-Gon came to Obi-Wan.
That's really Qui-Gon too. Yeah. That's really Qui-Gon.
And then Ahsoka has a similar ish thing, but it's her,
I think it's
and
just
translucent. World between world type. I don't even know how that works because they're not even in the timeline right now. Or where the hell are they? Or when the hell, this is all happening at an instant in time.
I think what's important is that the difference between Obi-Wan's interaction with Qui-Gon and Ahsoka's interaction with herself is that Ahsoka was asleep. Everything that happened to Obi-Wan happened while he was awake. Ahsoka's is a dream, but it's absolutely a vision. Like it's not like it's just something that didn't mean anything. This dream is a premonition. Like it is something that shows her who she'll be. And I'm fairly confident it's the version of her we see later on, like later on in just the timeline.
I don't know. This is a very very weird place. Like, the smallest of things can create massive ripples across, whenever the daughter died, the father was like, it's over. good luck. Like, he was like, the light is gone. I'm just gonna mourn and like mope the rest of my days. Good luck to your galaxy. Like, see you later. Like, that was it. You know, like if that happened, that's just it. And it seems that all we know is that there's a father, a daughter, a son, and then a sword that can kill them.
Yeah.
Other than that, we know nothing else what is in this massive planet, ship, I don't know.
I think the best comparison to make for this in any other form of media is The Wizard of Oz. With Anakin being our Dorothy figure and following the yellow brick road. They even have like their Emerald City kind of equation with the green dome and everything. But like Wizard of Oz, they wake up from seemingly a dream with a remnant of a little inkling, oh, that actually happened. You know, she wakes up with the ruby slippers on her feet and stuff and is like, oh, that was a real fucking thing. Nobody around me can remember it, but I was there. I lived it, you know, that sort of thing. And so maybe that's why I've always thought Obi-Wan and Ahsoka just don't remember it, because I was so heavy on the comparison of Wizard of Oz to this. But regardless, man, like having these, you got the Wicked Witch and the son, the very nice witch and the daughter, and just this overseer who kind of sees stuff going on in the father. But the Wizard of Oz himself. That is the only thing that can be comparable to it. Now, obviously, there's a lot more going on here as far as deifying Anakin and actually making it Star Wars mythos. But like, it's a weird fucking arc. And every time I watch it, I fully anticipate understanding it a little bit more. And then every time I keep coming away like, no, still not clicking 100%.
I think it's just Star Wars. Like, Star Wars is all about, you know, there's very yin yang, a lot of imagery, literal, like the symbols on the ground and everything, and the son and the daughter. It's just the good and the evil, and the father's the one that keeps them in balance, and that's why they're here. But if they were let to run rampant, then it would be chaos, and, you know, one would be, I don't know. I think it's just, these are the physical embodiments of the good versus the evil. Like, and
yeah, no, like this is the physical representation of the Force. Like, it's just,
yeah. And Anakin, who in the galaxy we know, brought balance overall to the Force. There were a lot more light Force users than dark at the time. Whether power itself, or it's just number, I don't really know. But like, overall, there was balance brought to the Force part of the universe, you know, through Anakin. So, and he did it here as well. He was the one who killed the son, you know, not the father, actually. Like, Anakin is, you know, the one who did actually do the deed. So I don't know. I think it's just kind of the bigger, way bigger imagery of the story of Star Wars that's going on. And it's just all foreshadowy and all not actually like, these events are what caused X, Y, and Z to happen. It's just like,
it's just like, I don't think this is like causing anything. I think it's just a microcosm of the entire story of Anakin Skywalker, because the way that I looked at it was like a fun experiment with this is that the father is Obi-Wan, the son is Anakin, and the daughter is Ahsoka. And in this arc, we see the son accidentally kill the daughter, but the daughter be revived through Ahsoka, which is kind of like the world between worlds. Vader basically killing Ahsoka, but she's not really dead because she gets pulled out and put back in the timeline. Anakin kills the dark in him by killing Vader and becoming Anakin Skywalker again, and he does kill the father in Obi-Wan Kenobi. So like, there's this There's like this little bit of like, and they stretch it a little bit to not be exactly 1-to-1 that, obviously, but
but
there's something there a little bit.
Like everything will be all right if we just stick together, or some, I don't know, something along those lines, and that's what it seems as the father, whether the daughter and son are there willingly. I think the son, if he could leave, it seems that he wants to.
Oh yeah, no, the father is tasked with keeping them there. Yeah. That is his job.
And I think it's more of like, if they wanted, they could do whatever they wanted with the galaxy. Like they use the Force for everything, like, and it's effortless for them to. They pull out, like, Ahsoka pulls out her lightsabers, and the sun is just like, and Ahsoka looks. She's like, "What?" She's like, "What the fuck just happened?" Like, okay.
Yeah,
like,
you don't watch Force users just get disarmed like it's nothing.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm dealing with something different here," and she even Ahsoka. She even says that she's like, "What in the universe is that, or was that?" Whenever the sun just flies away and transforms into whatever creature.
You are Sith.
Yeah.
Yes. And no.
Like,
Sam Witwer again, fucking fantastic.
Oh, so good. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what in the universe? Like, it's
completely unbeknownst to them.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, in the imagery, it's so, I don't know, it's when Anakin saves the daughter, and then, like, from the rubble that's going to fall down, and it separates Ahsoka and Obi-Wan, and then Ahsoka saves Obi-Wan. Right whenever Obi-Wan gets up, he's like, "Oh, thank you, thank you for saving me," recognizing that, he just had his life saved.
Died.
The daughter, on the other hand, is, "You are forbidden to touch me." Oh my God! And, sorry for saving your life, dude. So I don't know. There was always the inverse. Everything that was happening, there was like the yin yang was everywhere. This arc, and you had Ahsoka get bitten by the sun.
Yeah.
I guess, like, he had to be a weird creature first before he did that.
I think it was just to lull her into trusting him. Just kind of like a non-threatening little weird guy.
Okay.
Like,
interesting that he just had to bite. So, like, did he also bite Anakin off screen? Like, because we didn't see that transformation happen. We just saw Anakin, like, agree and be like, "Okay, you show me what has to happen now. I'll follow you." So, like, did he just bite Anakin, and then
I think with this, one of the interesting things about this arc is something that I think it has to say about the dark side. There's a point where the father implies that the son didn't have to be this way. Like, he's like, "You chose this. This wasn't what it had to be," and so, like, with the balancing of the light and dark, like, I feel like it did have to be, just in the grand mythology of it, but I don't know if he's just trying to shame him for it. But the difference between Ahsoka being possessed by the dark side and taken and made to be a darksider for a temporary time, and I'm assuming what was Anakin's choice to give in to the dark side.
Okay.
I fully believe. I think they would have shown us if the son also bit Anakin. I think it was more like Anakin saw what was going to happen. He knew what he needed to do to end the Clone War, and the way to do that was to go dark, And
wow.
Yeah, because I think it does a lot of interesting stuff to show what the dark side does to people too. Because Ahsoka is still. There's a difference between Ahsoka's dark-sided nature and Anakin's dark-sided nature. Ahsoka becomes subservient. She's like, either he'll kill me or you'll kill me. Either way, I'm going to die, but I'm here for that. Like that's a sign that it's not her. It's a sign that it is possession. It's not like it's something that it's not a choice she made. Anakin actively says, "I know what I have to do." He's like, this is.
He's like, and if my old master were to come for me, I know that he would do this. He's very, like, very in his own head. And in his own thoughts, but dark. Still not quite him, but him. Not.
And Ahsoka's saying a bunch of stuff that isn't true, that isn't applicable. Always the negative master. I'm never good enough. And
I hate it when you call me that. Like Snips. I wonder. I don't know. That's.
Well,
does
and
she hate it? I don't know.
I think what this does is it brings out the darkest impulses in Ahsoka, like the. Because I think that, like you said, there's a yin and yang with everything. She's fine with him calling her Snips, but that's why she'll continue to call him Sky Guy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. She doesn't go, God, I fucking hate you. She goes, I'll just fuck with you back. It's no big deal. Like there's a balance there. So like I think it's there's just an interesting dichotomy there. But regardless, I think I think it pays off for Ahsoka in this arc really, really particularly well, and in a really foreshadowy, kind of telling way. I think that there's obviously the vision of her future self. That is my favorite. That's my favorite scene of this arc as far as Ahsoka is concerned. And man, that was cool.
Definitely the one that's gonna stick in my mind the most, as in for like, I don't know, just seems a little grander than the rest of everything else. It seems like there could be something there.
She's warning herself about who Anakin does become.
Yeah.
Like the
yeah, it's my favorite shot too, of the seeing through her and Ahsoka being still all defense like and having her sabers out. But yeah, that scene is, oh man, I don't know. It was just, I guess you're right. She was asleep, so she was dreaming during this. But the fact that she just this is the vision she has while she's asleep on Mortis it's very clear that this is, I don't know. I wonder if this is just the Force telling her, or if this is like actually Ahsoka reaching out somehow herself in the future and being like, if you, I think like, I don't know, because
I think it's kind of a balance, I think that I seriously doubt there's some Force ritual Ahsoka performs where she's like, I have to go talk to myself on Mortis in the future, Like, I think it is more a manifestation of the Force, and the Force being not all-knowing, but it can clearly see the path Anakin's headed down and the path Ahsoka's going down. So it manifests itself in a way that Ahsoka would most definitely listen, which is her future self.
That's true. I guess an indication. While we're here, time doesn't apply.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, because they know
like everything. My favorite line of this arc from Ahsoka is Ahsoka to Ahsoka saying, "You may never see your future if you remain his student." And that's a line that very clearly weighs on her. Because what does she do? She stops being his student. She leaves.
And then it seems that it was the right decision now, seeing how important she's becoming, and has been the whole time.
Incredible character.
I don't know. Obi-Wan. It's Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka here. And if we think of everything that Obi-Wan and Anakin have done, like we know what Obi-Wan and Anakin have done, and I don't know, from beginning to end, like, feels like Obi-Wan, he got to die a very complete man at the end. He was one with the Force, Vader the same. We just quite haven't seen how Ahsoka goes, but I'm assuming she will go very similarly, like very one with the Force, and like, I don't know. I feel that her job hasn't been complete yet. Right. Obi-Wan's was just getting Luke and Leia together one more time, and he saw that, and then he was like, now nothing else matters. I've done what I need to do. Vader, was not Vader anymore, and it was like, I'm Anakin. I see my son now. I see he was right. I was wrong in all of this.
Right.
Now I can become one with the Force. And I wonder what like Ahsoka's moment like that is. And if it's
that could be interesting.
If it's just, I don't think it's defeating Thrawn. I don't think it's like a vengeful or like revenge. I don't think it's like that. If it's maybe like just Spring starting the new Jedi Order, possibly her.
Yeah, I just thought it was extremely foretelling, especially. Like I said, I had that misconception that they forgot this, but the idea that she does remember this interaction
would definitely weigh on her. I mean, like
forever.
After this, like she's gonna be thinking of everything that happened there. Obviously, and the one vision she had, the one like personal thing that happened to only her, was this vision that she had with herself, telling her that like you see some dark side tendencies in Anakin. Like you see it, and you yourself that you're showing those tendencies as well. And just be warned.
If you keep following him, you'll turn out like him.
Yeah. And I mean that this experience would weigh on any. I mean that's
and it clearly weighs on Obi-Wan. Something that I know this is supposed to be through the lens of Ahsoka, but there's some stuff you just can't talk about with this arc without it being about Anakin and Obi-Wan. The way that this will weigh on all of them. The moment whenever it's like he tames both the son and the daughter, and he's like, Neil. Like that's one that I don't think Ahsoka and Obi-Wan will be forgetting anytime soon.
No. No, they're like, okay, yeah, if we had any questions about him being the chosen one, it's pretty put to rest now. Like
and there's also this interesting thing that between, the only reason Obi-Wan agreed to take Anakin on as his Padawan is because Qui-Gon said so. He made him promise. It wasn't because he believed in him. It wasn't because he was like, yeah, he is the chosen one. No. He doesn't actually say anything that makes it clear that he thinks that until he's lying in the lava and goes, you were the chosen one. Like, I know you were. And it's like,
dang. Oh.
That's and that moment is enhanced by this arc because this seems like the moment that confirms that for him, kind of unquestionably. And these interactions with the father being like, look out for him. Like he's the chosen one. He'll bring balance, and you were meant to bring balance to the Force. Meant to destroy the Sith, not join them.
Yeah, I guess that really was kind of the plan, though. Now that the daughter was dead, there needed to be someone to destroy this, like the darkness, or like to actually like destroy the Sith, and so I don't know. I mean, it did bring balance, but like not in the way they thought, I guess.
No. The way that they brought balance about was by killing all three of them.
Yeah. I mean, if one had to go,
it kind of had to be the case. And the way that the father lulls the son into being like I'm sorry. Like when he stabs himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, I knew there was good in you. And then boop, right through the back, which is a little dark, That's not, I've never thought about it. And he's a really powerful entity. If you're going to get him, it's going to have to be something like that. But like, that's not a honorable Jedi-like thing to do, to stab a man through the back while he's hugging his father.
Dang. And that happened right in front of him. Ahsoka and Obi-Wan saw that happen right there. Like, they were just... This was a distress beacon. A 2,000-year-old distress beacon.
A Jedi signal that had not been used in like 2,000 years.
What?
Yeah. And the fact that the father like wants Anakin to take his spot. Like he's like, you'll stay here.
Yeah. Like needs a replacement.
Yeah, he's like, I'm dying, bro. I need some help.
Was the father there alone at first and then was bored and just had kids? You know, like
that's what's interesting is that I take this to sort of be a immaculate conception sort of deal where none of them existed and then all of them existed. It wasn't really a father decided to create a son and a daughter. Like the son and the daughter, if anything, the son and the daughter might have come first, and then the Force needed someone to correct.
The father's the person who's been replaced over time.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, it's interesting to think: is the father even the original father, or did someone do the same thing 2,000 years ago? Bring balance, become the father, keep light and darkness in check. Just an interesting concept.
Wow. Yeah. Whew. Tough one to wrap. Yeah, a lot more than blowing up a ship from last arc. You know, that's
malevolence to this, very very different stuff going on here. Not quite the same thing, but it is really cool. All the versions of Ahsoka we get. You know, we get future Ahsoka, we get mechanic Ahsoka, we get Sith Ahsoka. Like
dead Ahsoka.
Yeah, dead Ahsoka. She's dead, straight up dead.
Dark Ahsoka. Darth Ahsoka? What's her evil name?
I don't know.
Darth Ahsoka? No.
Lady Tano.
Ooh, Darth Tano. Dark Tano. Darth? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no real way to come up with one because Vader doesn't sound anything like Anakin or Skywalker, so it's like could just kind of be whatever the fuck.
True.
But that's why I went with Sith Ahsoka.
Sith. Oh, I like that. That's good. Sith Ahsoka. But my favorite scene was actually whenever she was revived.
That's a goodie.
And I mean, for what the implications of that means, like the daughters, is it just the life force of the daughter that's bringing Ahsoka back to life, or
there's definitely something more there. Because that little fucking Morai, the fucking owl type creature that follows her around, that's apparently the daughter that follows her around.
Yeah. So, and whenever like the daughter just looked at the father and just pointed to Ahsoka, and then they just both understood, like, oh, okay, I understand. Like, yes, like sort of like I choose her to be my next champion, whatever that is, you know, name wise. And it was just okay. Yep. All right, Anakin, you sit here.
The way they like puppeted that, like the fact that Anakin was unconsciously doing the same things the father was doing. I have no idea what the fuck is going on, man. This is for people far smarter than me to dissect. The fact that this is in a show that is marketed to 8-year-olds blows my fucking mind.
Back to life, but the part of the revival that I like the most is just Anakin like immediately hugs her. You know, just like we saw with last arc and Plo Koon, Ahsoka hugging, and we're like, yeah, you don't really get to see that a whole lot. But now it's like obviously in this moment, whenever Anakin thought she was gone.
Yeah.
You get, you know, nice little hug and she's like, what's going on? And Anakin's like, I don't really know. It's just good to see you, Snips. You know, It was just a really just nice moment. After a lot of whatever the fuck happened before. Because it was a lot to take in what happened before. And I knew Ahsoka was going to live through this, but first watch, I'd be like, oh my god, she could actually be dead here. But the part of the scene, the part that I like the most and why it's my favorite scene is just the calm after it was all done. And it's a nice resurrect, and then the father also.
Just a nice little resurrection real quick.
But yeah, however the fuck it worked and whatever it means as to what is, I don't know.
I can't tell if it just permanently bonds the daughter and Ahsoka, or if it means like the Ahsoka is imbued with the power of the daughter. I don't think that's the case, because the daughter is absurd, like in terms of her power. But I guess we don't know fully what Ahsoka's capable of as she's aged and everything. But I doubt it's untamable unless it's by the chosen one. You know what I'm saying? Seems unlikely.
And like if this has to happen during this time in their lives, or if it's like technically always happened.
Yeah, an ever prescient moment.
Yeah. I guess it seems it all happened to them all at the same time. And that it happened right here. So I guess right here in the Clone Wars, does it get really bad? Like, how close is this to Order 66? Like,
that's the thing about this anthology, man. This could be right before. This for all we know, this could be the arc before, Ahsoka leaves the Order or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
There's just no telling. Like, so it'd be interesting to know exactly when this falls, but I think that's part of the purpose of an episode, like part of the purpose of the format of this show.
Because the father, I guess, gives the impression that like your galaxy's kind of fucked for a little bit now. Like, the dark side, it has a chance to rise right now.
Yeah, I wonder how literal this is. Like, upon killing all three of them.
Oh, true.
Does
the time difference matter? Because the daughter was dead first for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the father died,
but they never left.
Yeah.
Like they stayed there the whole time, and according to Rex, it was a matter of seconds. So it's like, what? I don't fucking know, man. But
the father and the son both had to mourn the daughter. Like, that actually happened to them. And there was, like, pain that they were experiencing for the death of the daughter. So I feel that, like, it's still, that ripples, that ripple does happen still. Even though Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan haven't left yet.
I see.
And then it's like, maybe it's just kind of like mirroring the story is like, it seems that all is lost, that there's a father figure that the Force, but it can't really do anything, it's just there, but it's not good or bad, it's just kind of there. And then you have the son that seems to be the only one that's alive. The daughter's dead, there's no light, it's all like dark. You have just, the Empire is so massive, and how the fuck can you even beat them? And then it takes just a third party figure and then a backstabbing of, with Anakin to kind of take it down. And that's kind of what happens with the Emperor is
a little
Luke, Luke, or the Emperor is distracted by Luke, and Anakin gets to stab the Emperor kind of in the back a little bit, and throw him down. And that's what brings balance back. And everything's all good, and war's over, and then now we get into the the storylines we're getting into now.
Right. Also, what's interesting to think about is if this doesn't have any ripple whatsoever on the galaxy, because in theory, if the Force was in balance before all of this, there wouldn't be any reason for anything to change once they've killed all three of them.
Is true, unless the living on through Ahsoka changes things. Maybe that maybe there needed to be the equivalent of the dark, of the sun, needed to live on through someone. Because the father's body completely goes away. Does the daughter's body go away? Or is it just like faded out with light? It's kind of like there, but like kind of dark,
Yeah.
But I don't think it fades away because the son's body still remains there completely. I just wondered if the daughter's body was gone afterwards, and maybe the son has to live on in someone, and that's Vader.
Is there also something to the fact that I know the son got ran through by a lightsaber, but isn't the whole thing that like they need the sword to kill him?
Wait a minute. Oh. Wait, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Wait a minute. How did we... Yeah, how did he die? Did he just fake it?
That's my thing. Is the reason that darkness reigns after this because the son isn't actually dead and the Emperor is able to take over and the Jedi are able to fall and...
Or doesn't the father say that like his powers were in
Oh yeah. The father says that
something?
because he died, the son will die.
Is that okay? And maybe that like it lowered his powers and it allowed Anakin to like do the last.
I can
maybe
see
that's
that.
it.
Yeah,
okay.
That's it.
No,
it's just a lot.
I forgot. I just pulled it back up. I forgot about that little entangled part. But it was really at the last moment there. Yeah, and then he says he tells Anakin, you have brought balance now that this is happening. Stay on this path. And you will do it again for the galaxy. So, okay. So yeah, I guess like the fact that the daughter
this whole arc is an excuse for them to just get really, really fucking wacky, I don't think it means shit.
Yeah,
I think
it's just to make the story feel so grand.
Yeah,
it can go there. They're like, yeah, we can go here.
You will do it again. It's all very just like
there was another.
Yeah. It's just very foreshadowy, and it's like, well, it was always destined, man. Yeah, he was the chosen one. Of course, it was destined, bro. It's a prophecy. I don't know. Still fun though. I had a great time watching it.
Yeah.
And I know we spent a lot of time discussing the grandiose narrative that there is there, but Ahsoka's part of the story actually does feel the most important as far as how it actually affects someone.
Yeah. The daughter may live on through her or something, somewhat. She also, no droid kills, but I did want to highlight a badass just fight scene for Sith Ahsoka versus Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And whenever it's just Anakin and Sith Ahsoka, and Anakin does the classic move where he slices it up to disarm, and then the lightsaber goes flying up. Ahsoka flips off of Anakin onto a higher like little rock, and then just waits for her lightsaber to hit her hand. She puts her hand up and just like catches it, and like it was badass. Not a kill, but
I think that could be when there's not a droid kill, you can elect the coolest thing.
Yeah,
that
was pretty sick kill.
That is pretty cool.
Or the only other kill is Anakin killing the son, or the father killing himself, or the son accidentally killing the daughter. So
the father killing himself was my coolest kill.
That is a pretty cool kill. I mean, a pretty grand kill.
Pretty gnarly move on his part to be like, check this out, son. I don't know, man. That's kind of wild. No, yeah, I think this is an interesting arc because I think the animation is fucking gorgeous. I think the mythos that they build here it's epic, and I think my only issue is that people place a bit too much importance on it. I think people kind of read into it a little bit more than there needs to be, and it's fun. It's fun to read into it, but then like when it comes to You know, the world between worlds, people are like, what do the father, the son, and the daughter have to do with it? I don't know, man. Probably nothing.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I don't really think there's any connection there. I think
it's the fact that, like, the portrait of the father, son, and daughter is what allows you access to the world between worlds, you know?
I think it's just part of their technology. Like, that's just their technology. Like, to the world between worlds to us is something that is like, oh my god, if you have that, that's the key. You have everything. That's the power.
Well, and it kind of resembled the yin yang circle whenever whenever Anakin like tamed both the father and son.
Yeah.
Or the son and the daughter, whenever like it all went dark and the lines lit up and the stars lit up and stuff. I was like, there's kind of a resemblance there, but it's like until they say something means something, I'm not going to be able to figure that shit out.
I feel like, I don't think the father, son, and daughter are directly related. It's just like, that's everything that they were dealing with was the Force and only the Force. Like,
it's just the Force.
They didn't have any weapons at all. They controlled everything through the Force. Like, their caskets and the very obvious, tomb that, or the circle door on the tomb, it opened with the Force. Everything, like, I don't know, the sword, I guess was the only like weapon there, but it was at an altar, and you had to go and walk up, and the daughter could only go so close for some reason. Like, there's still so much that's left up there. I think it's just like their world is different. It's just not even the world we know.
Yeah,
it's
just a different thing.
Yeah, but I don't think they're directly related, I guess, to the new stuff.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's a fun series of episodes, and like I said, I do think this affects the characters going forward, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, and Anakin, but I don't think it truly has an impact on like the grand galaxy because of the events that happened here.
No, it's just on these three. It's Obi-Wan knows after this, he's certain,
and Anakin knows
is the chosen one. Anakin does know that, and his ego is just only going to grow. And then Ahsoka also knows that, but is also starting to be weary of the dark side tendencies, and is getting that's the difference with Ahsoka. Is that the vision that she had? Well, I guess Qui-Gon kind of gave Obi-Wan the similar idea. Like, realize that this planet is dangerous for him if he's not the chosen one. That wasn't it. They went through every possibility. It was like, if he is the chosen one, then good. I'm right, and haha. But then if not, then realize that, like, you got to get him the fuck out of here, because he'll abuse this planet and it will go bad. Sort of thing. But yeah, I think other than how that's it. It's just everyone knows that, or these three know that Anakin's the chosen one, and Ahsoka is just a little more weary of the dark side tendencies. I'd say that's like the only impact that it really has moving forward.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think it's a super fun arc. Like I said, I think that it shows the connection between Anakin and Ahsoka in a very, very meaningful way. The son coming and kidnapping Ahsoka, and Anakin being like, "We're not leaving. That's it. We gotta go." And Obi-Wan's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I know you. It was just another interesting little tidbit there. Just there's so much that happens in in these 3 episodes that's kind of like what actually happened. I don't know, but them all waking up, being like, "How'd this ship land?"
Oh, it wasn't me. I don't know.
Them all waking up, going, "What the fuck, guys?"
That happened. You saw what?
It was like a shared vision of some sort, maybe.
Later, like, to make sure that happened. Yeah. I like headcanon. They all just, like, before they met up with Rex and everyone, they were like, "Okay, so we were on that weird ass like planet. I don't know. You saw the daughter, the father. Okay, yeah. Okay. Like, the daughter, father, son. Like, I feel like once they started mentioning like father, daughter, son. They're like, oh, okay.
Okay. Cool.
We were all there.
Whew.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah, that.
Or maybe they all just go like, they all just keep it to themselves. Like they all just never.
That's
talk
actually
about it again.
interesting. What if it's so crazy, and they were like, "Yeah, we're only gone for a moment." Like, oh wait, what? Like,
and then they're like, "Well, that couldn't have happened then."
No, because Obi-Wan knows you were the chosen. Yeah, they know. They know.
Yeah, who knows? Like it's just so weird.
So the impact may be actually nothing. They may actually just want to forget that this even happened.
Nah. Yeah, I think it's just a weird arc, man. I do appreciate it though, and I like to think that they all remember it and that it affects Ahsoka and Obi-Wan going forward in really meaningful ways. Like we said, that foreshadowing, my favorite line. You know, you may never see your future if you remain his student. The choice to leave the order. You know, like this is that thought bubbling. You know, being like, okay, there's something in the back of her head forever that goes, maybe I shouldn't be here. Like maybe I should stop being his student. And then all the stuff happens where she's framed and everything, and she goes, "Yeah, that's that. I really got to go. It's not because of him. It's just because of everything."
It's the way you do things, you know. It's kind of your whole system, actually. See you later. Yeah, I don't know. Ahsoka's
those were my trials. Huh? Okay. Fuck y'all, I'm out.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. For sure. But my favorite shot of the episode, I never mentioned it, is in the second episode whenever Ahsoka wakes up after being bitten by the sun and her eye snaps open and it goes from blue to yellow. That shit was hard.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I had to go with there. That is what I had to go with there.
My last mentions, I don't think I mentioned my line. I was either going to go with whenever the son brings Ahsoka for the first time, and she's like, whatever he wants, you know, don't do it. Just her being like, don't matter, you know, don't care about, you know, don't worry about me. But Sith Ahsoka had some pretty bar lines. Whether it's, and now the student will kill the master, or two Jedi, finally a challenge.
Yeah, right.
I don't know which one I want to go with, but I'll go with and now the student will kill the master. I like the delivery of that one the most.
Ashley Eckstein did some fucking crazy voice work
had to go a little crazy.
That scene where she's like
all up and down.
She's like not facing Ahsoka or not facing Anakin, and she's like throwing her arms out to the side.
I finally feel like myself, you know, like and like it's just laughing, like some evil laughs in there. It was
some good work. It was some good work on her part, but yeah, that was some cool stuff. Speaking of the the scene where they're brought to the stadium, quote unquote, and he's forced to choose. Only the chosen one can save them both. Et cetera, and you know, Ahsoka's like, don't worry about, like, don't listen to him, Master, it's fine, whatever. And I loved Obi-Wan's line there, where he was like, they are too strong for us, save Ahsoka.
Yeah.
You know, like don't fucking worry about me, that's your apprentice. If I was in this situation between Qui-Gon and you, I'm saving you because I know Qui-Gon would tell me to save you. You know, it's what he did. You
save the future. Yeah, you save the apprentice. Like that's, I don't know. Is that the moral decision? I think it makes sense.
I think it does too. Yeah.
I think no matter who these people are, Master, like no matter who they are, I think it's just you save the younger one.
But Anakin can save them both because he's that guy.
He just did it.
Are you the one?
Excuse me?
Did you guys hear that? You guys hear that?
Hello. Obi-Wan's like, hello. And then Ahsoka like, all of them having a very different reaction.
I love Obi-Wan being the Mac Daddy of the Clone Wars, dude. Like, bro hits on everyone. Asajj, the sexual tension between him and Asajj is fucking absurd. It's absurd. Hello, you know, the whole thing there. Incredible character. But Yeah, this is another good stop on the road for Ahsoka, and it's the last stop before seasons 5 and 7. We've got
Wow.
4 more episodes concerning the Clone Wars, 2 arcs from season 5, the Youngling arc and the Framing arc, and then in season 7, her arc Underworld in the streets of Coruscant, and obviously the Siege of Mandalore. Then after that, we're on to Rebels, which is every episode of Rebels she's involved in. And with Rebels, we're going to kind of give some of those arcs a little more time to breathe, just because the side characters in Ahsoka will be the main characters in Rebels, and their stories will matter. So when it gets to Rebels, it'll be a little less strictly Ahsoka focused. There'll be a little bit more opening it up and being like, well, these characters are about to be in Ahsoka. Let's see how these events affected them as well. So there's a little bit of a balance there. The only thing I'm hoping for between Obi-Wan and Anakin in the Ahsoka series is a Force Ghost interaction with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen as Force Ghosts with Ahsoka.
Oh, it has to happen. Oh, but that means she has to die first.
No,
or you mean while she's alive?
Like she gets greeted.
She gets greeted by I thought you meant like all 3 of them are Force Ghosts.
No. Okay. I think that will almost certainly happen one day.
At the end of that I feel like that's the end of the movie or something.
Yeah. Ahsoka is dying in that movie.
Yeah.
Whatever that movie is, she's dead.
Yeah, Thrawn and Ahsoka. I feel like at that time. I see. Okay, I definitely Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor filming Force Ghost scenes if they're asked. Like,
and we've already been confirmed to get Clone Wars flashbacks. There's a young Ahsoka being played. Hayden Christensen is cast. He will be in it. So I don't see a reason why there won't be a Force Ghost Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, because he's already manifested by this point as Hayden Christensen's face and everything. The only thing that's weird about Ewan McGregor showing up is the whole, Alec Guinness was the original Force Ghost version of. So maybe it's like the last time Ahsoka saw Obi-Wan, he looked like Ewan McGregor, so they'll take that route.
That is such a weird. Is that the only Is there anyone else that has I don't know. I feel like we don't run into that problem with anyone else. I guess Solo, there's a big actor change there. But that happened after. But I feel like there is such a noticeable
difference.
Wow, that desert really aged you, Obi-Wan.
And that's the thing. They could always just fucking dye that hair white and give him some wrinkly makeup, and he
try to make Ewan.
He looks a lot like young Alec Guinness looks a lot like Ewan McGregor. That's why they got him for that role. That's part of it. Not why he got the role, but it's part of it for sure.
Oh, okay. He actually does look a little like Ewan.
Yeah, there's a resemblance there. It's not the exact same or anything, and it's something that I'd be 100% willing to overlook. Of course.
They could get there. Oh, they could totally get there.
But what's cool about Ahsoka, the show coming up, is that, you were making mention of Ewan McGregor and Solo and all this with Alden Ehrenreich showing up as Han earlier in the timeline than Harrison Ford shows up. Ewan McGregor showing up in the timeline as Obi-Wan earlier than Alec Guinness shows up. Genevieve O'Reilly's Mon Mothma will be the first to show up before and after her original counterpart did.
Damn. Yeah, Mon. That doesn't matter. That's just.
She looks the exact fucking same. It's kind of uncanny.
Holy shit. I want to know what her diet, everything. I don't know.
Yeah, she's been playing Mon Mothma since fucking Revenge of the Sith or whatever the fuck. That's crazy.
That's nuts. Yeah, that's. Damn. Okay, Mon. And
okay, Genevieve.
Popping off still. Coming up in a... Yeah, I don't know. That is right. Yeah, in that trailer. I forgot about that. Man. Yeah.
Chancellor of the New Republic.
Has to... Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Damn. This show's going to be so good. I'm so glad we're doing this so I can just keep the hype.
Oh, yeah. Time. My hype levels have not ceased. They remain. But Yeah, man, this was another goodie for the Ahsokast, and we will be back next week with the Youngling arc next from season 5, her taking the younglings to Ilum. I'm very excited about that one. And, maybe we go back and add some stuff in if there's still time, but we'll see. If you would, head to patreon.com/pennybloom-pod, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, including all sorts of book reviews, comic book reviews, movie reviews, and for $3 a month, you can support this podcast financially, which is huge because it costs me money, and I don't make any off of it unless it's over there. So thank you very much for that. Head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. Remember to leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening. Be sure to continue checking out what we're working with. Like I said, Ahsokast continuing every Wednesday. We'll be back this Friday to continue the comic book movie journey through film, where we'll be covering yet another comic book film. Very excited for that. Every Monday, we are continuing Winter is Blooming, a Game of Thrones rewatch podcast, which is it's been most enjoyable and very rewarding if you're a Game of Thrones fan to rewatch that week to week with us. And yeah, with that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And you may never see your future if you remain his student.